It's an interesting question about a parent who sort of desperately wants to know what it's going to look like. And again, some of this relates to control. You know, if I know what it looks like and I can imagine it ahead of time, then I can plan for it and then I can prepare myself and then I won't be caught off guard. And the reality is that, one, we can't give you that information because we truly in any given moment don't know what it's going to look like. And even if we gave you a general sense, when you're in it, all the best preparation in the world doesn't change what it's like to actually be in it. I think the one thing that I say to parents is about, as hard as it can be, is if you can let go or put that aside and focus on how important it will be to be as present as you can while it's happening, to actually just be with your child. Whatever happens, we don't know how to prepare for it.
I said, how long? What is this looking like? And at that point, they were really focused, the PAC team and everybody was really focused on if we wanted to get home, how to make that happen. And so I asked them how long. And the doctor said, if we don't treat this infection, it's likely he won't last the weekend. I mean, he is septic. And I was not ready to go home at that point. It seemed like a lot all at once for me. I didn't feel comfortable with being able to manage his pain effectively by myself. So we decided to stay, and I said, I want to stay, but I want to go back up to the 9th floor where we've spent our whole life, and I don't want to be in the ICU, and I don't want him hooked up to anything, and just give me a few days. And, I thought it would be a few days. So we went up. They have a nice little comfort care room up on that floor, which has a nice big bed that we could all stay in, and had room for my family to come in and out, which was really great. And it was the nurses and the team that we had worked with his whole life. So I felt really good about being there. They continued to ask me every day if I wanted to go home, because if that's what we wanted, they would make it happen, which I appreciated. But also I felt comfortable at the hospital. For us, it was the right place to be. And, Monday morning rolls around and our team comes back over from Dana-Farber and says, wow, he's looking good and he's still here, and really sorry because, no one would have expected he would survive the weekend. But the sepsis kind of cleared and the shunt was stable, and we kind of lived that life for 3.5 weeks in the hospital. Every couple of days they would come over and say, I'm really sorry. We don't know. Kai's doing his own thing and you guys are doing a good job. And if at any time you want to go home, we'll make it happen. And they just tried to support us and to just be there. And after a week or so, I said, no, I really want to stay here, so you don't have to keep asking. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. And we just want to be here. I don't want to go home and have to be his nurse. And we were able to do that, and they really accommodated us very well. The nurses were phenomenal. We had the Kai parade, as we called it, every day coming in. All of our friends and family would come and visit, and it was a very difficult time, of course, because at that point we really were waiting for him to die. That was all we were doing. But we were there, and we were there together, and we were there with a great team of people who supported us a lot, listened to us, and we laughed and we had fun and we spent time together, and we tried to give him little bits of joy throughout the day, and we held him. And I'm really thankful that we stayed in the hospital. Preparing for the last moments, it was hard. We were there over Thanksgiving. We spent many holidays in the hospital with Kai, but never a big one like Thanksgiving. And they did offer for us to go home. They said, oh, well, we can ambulance transport you to your grandmother's house or whatever. And I said, no, it's too much for him. So most of our family came to us, and we spent the holiday with all the other kids in the hospital. And that night, I thought he was going to die. His breathing changed, and I just felt like, oh, this could be it. And the doctor came in and said, yeah, what you're seeing is accurate, and this could be it. But it wasn't. He hung on for a couple more days. So I feel like in the actual moments when he did die, I really was quite prepared. I did feel quite prepared. I feel really thankful that the people that were there that night, the staff, the nurses, the family members, friends, were all in the right place at the right time, which is something you can't prepare, especially at the hospital. I mean, we had a phenomenal nurse who knew this was it and worked quickly and quietly to make sure he was comfortable.
We can't really prepare for it. We can maybe plan generally. We will do everything we can to make sure that your child isn't suffering. And if you can be as present as you can be, that will be an enormous gift for you later and for your child as he or she is dying.